Got the medical kit ready. What's going on, guys? This is Burrs. I want to talk to you today about my disaster kit. Now, you saw this last year in a video, and I've had a lot of you guys reach out to me and ask me if I've done anything as far as updating it, adding anything in, taking anything out. So that's what this video today is about. So you might ask yourself, why do you need a disaster kit? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. Most notably, natural disasters, including Hillary Clinton. But there's a lot of people out there that have disaster kits for SHTF, Armageddon, the end of the world, economical collapse, World War III and IV. Lots of different reasons people have them. Just having one is a good idea. So let's just get down to it. First off, on top here, I have a medical kit. You've seen this last year. I think I said I was going to do a video on exactly what's inside of it, but it's kind of a mixture of all the other medical videos I've done. If you take a look here real quick, you have just the basics of what you're going to need for a medical kit to handle pretty much any situation, minus needing surgery. So we got the Benadryl, the Advil, CPR mask, shears, antibiotic, ointments, burn gel, all kinds of blood stoppers, splint. So all the basics that you're going to need if you need to have a medical kit for emergency. So now let's get into what is actually on the inside. This container right here is something that I got at Walmart or something like that. I got it during Halloween or during the harvest season, and that's why it's orange. Orange kind of sticks out and looks kind of like an emergency, so that's why I got the orange one here. As you can see, you want to designate that this is a disaster kit. Try not to go into it during the year if you can hold off on it. You don't want to take something out, use it, forget to put it back in, and then you have emergency, and then you're kind of shit out of luck. So on the top here, what do I have? You see this green thing? This is called a Scrubba. This is a manual clothes washer. Basically fill it up with water, and you'll fill it up. You put water in here, you put your clothes in here, you put a little bit of laundry detergent, and then you can manually scrub. You can kind of see the little scrubbers right here. And this is a great way to clean your clothes when you don't have a washer around. Then you would just hang dry your stuff. If you're going to be leaving an emergency or evacuating due to a natural disaster, you're going to need or have the ability, you're going to need to wash your clothes probably if you're going to be gone for a few days and you only take a certain number of clothes with you. So this is a good option to have around. Now this is in no particular order whatsoever. It's just basically how it fit in here and how I was able to jam it all in here. So on the top here I have a bunch of just quick meals. This is a Alpine Air creamy potato and cheddar soup. I have some Mountain Houses here. These are just quick meals where you just add some water. So you could get some water from a stream or whatever, boil it up, and then you could add it to this and make a meal to sanitize the water. So I have a bunch of these right here. I have a Camp Chow meal. This is a chicken Alfredo, gluten-free, and same deal. You just put some water in here and let it cook, or throw it into a pot and let it cook. I do have some of these really long-lasting Go Foods meals. This is creamy Tuscan pasta. Here we have some chicken cheddar rice. Got a bunch of those. Cheddar broccoli soup, mashed potatoes. You know, whatever you like to eat or your family likes to eat, that's what you're gonna want to get. These Go Foods are really cool because they last like 20 years. These are like 2027. So basically going out and checking out what you want to get to eat, maybe trialing some stuff, get some stuff that you think you might like, try it out. Like the Southwest lasagna from Hawk Vittles, I love this. You know, buy some stuff, try it out, see if you like it. And once you find something you like, go ahead and put it in your emergency kit. If you like coffee, this Patriot Pantry Franklin's Finest Instant Coffee is really good. I found this on Amazon. I'll put a link down below to the majority of the stuff in here. So if you're interested in getting it, you can click on the link and go get it or take a look at it. And what I'm going to show you in this kit is there's going to be some quick access items. So right here I have 2 bottles of water. These are quick access to fresh water. I rotate this every year because you don't want to let water sit in these bottles for a very long time. But I got 2 of these, which is quick access. So you need to get access to fresh water, boom, you have 2 bottles of fresh water in here. But what I also have in here is water filters. And I have 2 because 2 is 1 and 1 is none. I have they're both by Katadyn. One's a gravity filter, which is a 10-liter camp filter. And then this is a pump filter, which is one of their backpacking lines. And you know, you want to have sustainability. So when you're out there and say you have some crappy water in like a hurricane environment, you want to be able to take care of the water and be able to, make it fresh. So having a water filter is definitely something you want to have. Other than that, you could boil the water and filter it as good as you can with getting the sediment out and everything, and then boil it. But if you don't have any of these items, then you're going to be relying on bottled water or relying on stores for that. And what's going to happen is you're going to find out real quick, especially with stores, that stuff's going to sell out very quickly and you might not have access to fresh water. So making an investment, under $100 for a water filter is a really good idea. Obviously, you're going to have some plates and bowls and stuff to eat off of. So I have some plastic. I have an MSR metal plate here, and these are by Sea to Summit, these bowls and plates here. So we talked about getting clean water and how to make clean water. What are you going to put it in to store it? What I have in here is 2 items. This is a Kleen Canteen, and this is Nalgene's flexible canteen. This holds 32 ounces, I believe. 48 ounces is what this holds. So the great thing about this is it weighs barely anything. You can put it pretty much anywhere because it's flexible and it can move to pretty much any size and shape. And then we have a metal container right here, the Kleen Canteen. Now you've seen me do a review on this in the past, and the great thing about this is it's a single-walled stainless steel bottle. So in the event that your water filters don't work, you can fill this up with water. Obviously you want to clear it of all the sediment and everything beforehand. But you can fill this up with water, you could put it over the fire, boil it for 2 minutes, and bam, you got some fresh water. So you do have a canteen or a metal container of some sort. On the inside, as you can see here, I have some EFS hydration solutions. So this is filled with those. I think there's maybe 10 or 12 in here. So the one thing that you're going to want to do is stay hydrated in an event of emergency. It could be really hot out, you never know. So I have a bunch of those in here, just filling the space up inside the canteen. Now there's different types of salts out there. I do use a lot of pink Himalayan salt because it's a good salt. It doesn't really affect your blood pressure, unlike the salt that you'd find on table salt and the like. And what this is a pound of salt. You can do tons of different things with salt. It's a really great thing to have around. And this is good because it has a closure at the top. You get this for maybe like, I think $5 on Amazon. And salt's always a good thing to have around. So remember earlier we talked about the laundry detergent. Here I have a Sea to Summit laundry detergent bottle. You really don't need to use a lot, so you can get a lot of different washes out from this small bottle right here. You could use Tide to Go or anything like that to use your laundry detergent, but I just have this Sea to Summit backpacking laundry detergent. One thing that does not go bad and stays really well and tastes really good is honey. So here I have a 16-ounce container of raw honey. This is just raw and unfiltered, and it's made by American Bees. Honey can be used for lots of different stuff. It's a great antiseptic, and it tastes really good. And I don't know, I can't really say much more about it, but it's a great energy source as well. So if you're looking to put something in your kit that is going to stay for a very long time, if not forever, if it's sealed properly, honey is a good way to go. Now, depending on whatever scenario you're in or whatever thing is going on, natural disaster, you're gonna have a lot of time on your hands. So finding a good book or something like that to take a lot of the time away from some of the minutia of everyday life, not having iPhones and iPads and laptops and Xboxes. You might want to take some books with. One really good one I recommend is just called Bushcraft, and it's by Mora's Kochanski. This is what it looks like. And you can just throw these, and this one's by Dave Canterbury. This is the Bushcraft Field Guide to Trapping, Gathering, and Cooking. I am by no means a trapper, so if I'm in a situation where I need to trap stuff, I'm definitely going to be reading this book. Maybe I should read it in the meantime. Who knows? You're going to want to have some books on hand. If you're going to have books on hand, it'd be great to have books on hand that are really beneficial to your survival. So find some survival books out there, check out some reviews, and get some of those to put in your kit. So we talked about food and water and boiling and all those kinds of things. So you're going to have some sort of igniter or some sort of thing to make that happen. So as far as old school goes, you have some fire starters here. Well, actually I have these here, not you. But here are some fire starters. This is InstaFire. You can get 3 to 4 fires out of each of these packages. They don't have a resealable top, but you can just fold it over and it's good to go. So you can get 3 to 4 with each of these. There's all kinds of different fire starters out there that work great. but if you're gonna wanna make a real fire, so going the natural route, you're gonna use something like that FireStarter there. You know, when I say natural route, I mean not going the IsoButane route with like these canisters. You're gonna want some fire starters, you're gonna want some matches. So these are strike on the box, but you can also get strike anywhere matches, which I recommend getting the strike anywhere. You can get these 300 counts for easily under $2, so I recommend getting a few boxes of those. Here I have some more fire starters. This is just called Burner. It's something from a European company. I've done a review on it. I really like that. Got some stormproof matches, and I also have some trioxane, which is a great surplus type fuel that you can find. You light it up, it stays lit for I think up to about 2 minutes. Haven't used it in a little while, but it stays lit for about up to 2 minutes. And you can make a fire that way. So I got some more. These are long burn matches. A lot of these are stormproof. And I have a lot of stuff combined in these Ziploc bags. So I have a lighter here. This is an adjustable flame lighter. I have some Gorilla Tape that's wrapped on a credit card, an old credit card. And I have a bunch of batteries. I also have some batteries here. These are lithium ion, which is gonna last way longer, and they're gonna perform in temperatures way colder and way hotter than regular alkaline batteries, which I have right here. So I recommend using up these alkaline first and then moving to this, or just getting straight up lithium ion for everything. So that's gonna be for like flashlights and whatever electronics you have, radios, etc. Speaking of radios, I recommend getting some sort of a, I'll call it a weather radio or emergency radio. This is a crank radio. This is by Voyager, and you just crank it up, and you don't even need batteries for it because it has crank energy. So this is going to perform no matter, you know, what kind of crappy electronic environment you have. Cool thing about this is it also has a solar panel, so you can get some energy that way, and it has a light right here. I wouldn't recommend using that stuff though. If you want to use the radio as much as you can, I wouldn't use anything else because then you're going to run down the battery. But this is a great radio. I think it was around $30 to $40, and I'll put a link down below. Another great thing to get is respirators. These are relatively cheap. You can get boxes of these on Amazon. These are N95. They're going to keep you somewhat protected, not fully, but they're going to keep you protected from airborne illnesses and the such. When Ebola was happening, people would be wearing these. Another great thing and reason people would wear these is when hurricanes happen and things get flooded out, there's a lot of disease and filth in the water. So if you're walking around and stuff around these areas, it'd be good to wear a mask so you're not inhaling all that stuff as you're walking around trying to get out of the area if you're stuck in an area like that. Here's some more. I got 2 of these recently. These are by Valley Food Storage. They last for I think 10 to 12 years. These are really interesting. I just picked these up. This one's a Southern style chicken and rice. This is an Irish pub style cheddar potato. Actually, it says 25-year shelf life. Made in the USA. This one is a gluten-free. This one is they have no MSG. They use Himalayan sea salt in these. So these are actually really high quality compared to what you would find with maybe like a Mountain House. So I found these on Amazon. Again, links down below. So we talked about electronics and batteries a little bit, more so the batteries, but there's 2 things in here that you're gonna want. You're gonna want a flashlight of some sort. It's handheld. This is a AA battery flashlight, so you put 2 AA batteries in here. And this is just battery operated. This right here is really cool. This is a solar lantern. So you can either use solar power, and it has these little buttons here that tell you which power source it's on. So right now it's on the solar power. If I move it to here, it's on battery power. And if I move it to here, it's off. The other cool thing, it has a USB charger right here at the bottom. So if you run out of your batteries and you have this charging up, you can use it for solar. And I haven't used this thing in a really long time, and it's been sitting in here, and as you can see, it's running off of the solar power. So it really holds a charge a really long time. There's a lot of different ones out there. So you just have to check some ratings on them. If you find some on Amazon, check the ratings and go from there. Depending on what kind of environment you're in or what's happening with the world, you could get some seeds. Now seeds are a great thing because they're, like I talked about earlier with the water filters, these are sustainable. So these are gonna sustain you with food versus when you use one of these, like I'm gonna eat this potato cheddar soup, once all this food's gone, it's gone. So if you're looking to spend a $10 investment on each of these, 20 bucks, you're getting an herb garden and you're getting a survival heirloom seed garden. All kinds of different stuff in here, from potatoes to peas to green beans, cauliflower, all kinds of different seeds and herbs. So if you want to eat well and you want to add some stuff, maybe you have rice in your survival kit or your disaster kit or whatever, and you want to add some really nice herbs to it or whatever, you could grow an herb garden. Here's some obvious things here. Again, I have some more Gorilla Tape. This is like a travel roll. And I have an emergency blanket. You can never really have enough emergency blankets because there's a zillion different reasons you want to use it. If someone goes into shock, you could use it to keep them warm. If you want to stay warm in the winter and you have a fire going and you want to reflect the heat back on yourself, you could use a survival blanket. They're cheap and there's no reason you shouldn't have a few of these in any kind of kit you have. There's another obvious hank of rope. This is paracord. It's probably about 150 feet of paracord. Definitely want to have some sort of rope in your kit. When you're cooking, you're going to need some sort of a utensil. I got some utensils to eat in here. You're going to want a good knife. I have a 3 Rivers blade Bushcraft knife right here. So you're going to want something like that. You don't have to spend tons on a knife. You can get a Mora of Sweden knife for probably like $12, $10, $12, and it's going to be a kick-ass knife. So you don't have to spend tons of money on a knife. But you can spend a little bit more money, get a Benchmade, get a Condor knife and tool, which is kind of like an intermediate price. So lots of different knives out there. Emergency candles are something you're going to want to use. There's lots of uses for them. But obviously if you don't have electric or you want to use these instead of using your flashlight, if you don't have a lot of batteries, emergency candles are great. So here I have a Sterno emergency candle. I have some I found on Amazon a while ago. I don't know if they sell these anymore, but these are actually dual purpose because they are a ball jar. So you can use the candle in here, the emergency candle, and when you're done you can clean it out and you'd have a container left. So I have 2 of those in here, and I have another 72-hour 3-wick candle. Another really easy way to provide yourself some light is some chem lights. You can find these on eBay, Amazon. There's lots of different places you can find them. Snap them, shake them, you're good to go for about 12 hours depending on which one you get. So I have some chem lights in here too. Now if you're going to be gone for a couple days, weeks, months, you're going to want to clean yourself up. So I have some Ivory soap. I think we got this for really cheap. And Dr. Bronner's Pure Castile Bar Soap. This is a peppermint soap. Peppermint is a natural deterrent of mosquitoes and insects and such. So it's one reason I have a peppermint soap in here, because it kind of keeps away the bugs. But you want to have some sort of soap in your kit. Now we talked about a lot of food and how to make that food and warm it up and all that. And you could have a propane stove like the one I reviewed over the summer. You could have that, and you could have it sitting next to here in some propane tanks, and that's a great option. In here I actually have a different option where I have a pocket rocket stove from MSR. You've seen this in plenty of videos and I reviewed it. And I have a one of MSR's container stands. So this will keep the whole container, not the container, but the canister stable. And everyone knows if you've had a canister before and you try to set a big pot on it, it can get kind of unstable. So this MSR canister stand comes in real handy. So I have that, and then I have a few of these larger IsoButane canisters right here. So it's gonna get you, so that's gonna get you pretty far along. I have 5 in here, so it's gonna get you through a few days to a few weeks worth of food, and then you're gonna kill your cat. So using the IsoButane canisters like this, you're only gonna get through a little bit. You're not gonna get years of service out of this, obviously. If you've used IsoButane canisters before, you know how much life you're gonna get out of them. So I have 5 of them in here, and that's gonna get you down the road a little bit, but you're gonna have to think, you know, longer term. Maybe you use some fire instead of using the canisters, and maybe use the canisters when it's a really crappy day where making a fire is going to be more difficult. Depending on whatever you're doing, you just want to use them smartly, because they are very easy to use. So you want to be able to use easy stuff when it's hard, and when it's easy weather and all that stuff, you want to be able to you know, use some more sustainable, can't talk. Now speaking of fire, I do have a stove here. This is an Emberlight stove, and it's their bigger one, and this is what I'm going to use for fire. So the majority of the time, if you can, you want to use a fire type stove, because it's not going to be eating into your easy use of your IsoButane canisters, which you'll want to use when it's more shitty conditions out, because it's a guarantee that it's going to work for the most part. Making a fire is a pain in the ass if you've ever done it in shitty conditions. So you want to, you know, reserve the easy stuff for the hard days. But I do have a fire stove, Ember Light. I've reviewed it in the past. Check that out if you're interested. And I'll put a link down below. You might potentially have to use the bathroom, and there might not be a restroom around that's operational. So I do have a trowel in here. And then what I have in our container here, this is a Primus. This is just a regular type pot. I think this is a 8-quart pot, something like that. What I have in here, again, easy to light. I got some tinder, some dryer lint. And then inside I have 2 large rolls of toilet paper, and I have the hand sanitizer and some what do they call it, carabiners inside here. That way you're utilizing all the space. So when you're packing this stuff into like such a small container, you gotta be pretty ingenious with where you're putting stuff, or it's not gonna fit. So you got that stuff in here. And then rounding it out with the whole 2 is 1 and 1 is none, I have another container in here. This is actually Dave Cannonberry's container, and I forget what it's called. I think it's called the Bushcraft or the Bush Pot. And this is just a little bit smaller container, and what I have stacked in there is 6 ramen noodles. I think there's 6 in here. So again, utilizing space. The cool thing about this is it comes with, well, first off, the container, it's cool itself. You'll see a review in the future. But it comes with its own little, if you want to make a fire and put this on top, it comes with its own little stove stand right here that it sits inside. So it makes for easy storage. So that's a really cool pot. So I have 2 pots in here. That way, if you need to boil water and at the same time you need to make food, whatever, you got tons of different options. So that wraps up what's going to be in the container, the disaster kit container. I recommend that you have some 5-gallon canisters of water, maybe a 5-gallon canister of gasoline for your car, because the stuff that runs out the quickest, most of the stuff that runs out the quickest is gasoline and water. Usually gas stations are filled up during natural disasters or evacuations, and water's off the shelf. So if you have some of those, that's really going to be beneficial to you because you can leave faster than other people. A lot of people have some backpacking gear, so they'll have a backpacking pack, and they'll have all kinds of stuff in there. So if you take that with you and you throw that in your car, maybe you have 2 of them, you'll have multiple capabilities. You'll have more food, more water filtering capability. You'll have some more shelter options in there, sleeping options with sleeping bags. That's what you want to do. You want to have quick access to stuff. You know, if you know you're leaving for a very long period of time, or the stuff's really bad, if you like I do, I go lift weights. If you have some protein powders and stuff, that'd be excellent to throw in your car with you because that's a really quick source of all kinds of proteins and vitamins and minerals. And all you need to do is have fresh water to make it, and then you have a really quick meal right there, or meal replacement. So there's lots of different ways to skin a cat. This is one way that I do it, and if you guys have ways that you think about making your disaster kits, go ahead and put them in the comments down below, or better yet, make a video about it. Until next time, later. So on the top here, I have what's called a Scrubba. This is to do laundry when you don't have a laundry machine. A washer. If you don't have a washer, electric washer, are they even electric? They're electric. They're electric, yeah. Let's start over with that one again.